The Newsline.
Hello and welcome back to Newsline, brought to you by People's TV. We begin today's commentary with a special announcement. A protest and memorial event will be held today, 16th, at Havelock City Hall at 3 p.m. to mark and remember the October 7th massacre. The event is organized by pro-Israel activists and Sri Lankan community leaders. If you live in or around Colombo and its suburbs, we strongly encourage you to attend. This gathering holds special significance for those who have family members or loved ones living and working in Israel. Turning now to the latest developments from Israel, a new crisis has emerged regarding the hostage situation. Although Hamas has released all surviving hostages, it is yet to return the bodies of those who perished in captivity. So far, only 8 bodies have been handed over in 2 separate instances. However, the Israeli authorities grew suspicious about one of these bodies, suspecting it was not a hostage but a Palestinian. Forensic analysis has now confirmed those suspicions. The body in question indeed belongs to a Palestinian individual. Therefore, as it stands, Hamas has returned only 7 bodies in total. This constitutes a clear violation of the ceasefire agreement. An agreement is a mutual understanding between 2 parties, and when either side breaks its terms, the other is no longer bound to honor it. In fact, a single violation renders the entire agreement null and void. Consequently, President Trump's peace proposal is now effectively invalid. A Lebanese newspaper reporting on the development stated that Qatar and Egypt had already informed President Trump that the delay was due to the current state of Gaza, which lies in ruins, with some bodies believed to be buried beneath the rubble. However, a video released by offshore media appears to show bodies being retrieved from what looks like a cold storage facility. This raises serious doubts about the explanation given, suggesting that Hamas may be deliberately delaying the return of bodies to buy time. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Netanyahu's office released a statement emphasizing that the return of the bodies is non-negotiable under any circumstance. This stance likely stems from the suspicion that Hamas is attempting to use the situation as leverage to prolong negotiations even further. Israel has also taken actions that technically violate the ceasefire. However, it cannot be held responsible, as Hamas is not honoring the agreement. One of the key conditions of the ceasefire was to keep the Rafah crossing open, allowing humanitarian aid to enter Gaza and enabling free movement for Gazans and Egyptians between the territories. As of now, the Rafah gate remains closed. We will have to wait and observe how Hamas responds to this latest development. President Trump has made strong statements regarding the current situation. He firmly insists that Hamas must lay down its weapons. The president has asked repeatedly whether Hamas is ready to disarm, and each time, they have agreed. Yet despite these assurances, Hamas continues to violate the agreement, and the evidence is clear. In addition to the body of the Palestinian, the remaining 3 bodies have now been identified. Findings reveal that 2 of the hostages were already deceased before their release, while the 3rd was killed on the very day he was taken into Gaza. Speaking of the hostages who have returned home, numerous videos and photographs of them are now circulating across social media. Among these, images and footage of Eviatar David have drawn significant attention. David is the same hostage whom Hamas once forced to dig his own grave. The released footage shows a man reduced to a walking skeleton, a haunting image that moved the entire world to grief. The video currently playing shows David reuniting with one of his school friends following his release. Interestingly, this friend had also been taken to Gaza as a hostage, but he was freed long before David. The hostages who have returned home have shared harrowing accounts of their captivity. They were kept in cramped spaces, unable even to stretch properly, and were gagged most of the time, with no sense of day or night. One parent of a freed hostage told the media that her son, who was once very particular about food, now eats anything he is given without complaint, a heartbreaking reflection of the trauma he endured. If this report helped you see the situation on the ground clearly, don't keep it to yourself. Like, share, and subscribe to People's TV, where truth has no agenda, and facts speak louder than spin.
Subscribe us for more details.